This is Prashant Bharadwaj. This is a short introduction to strategic management or business policy as it is known in business schools. It is usually a capstone course that integrates your learning in courses such as marketing, management, organizational behavior, finance, accounting, operations, and so on. And it demonstrates how management at the top levels of an organization crafts and implements strategy. This course lends itself better than any other course to a case methodology of teaching and learning. There will be thoughtfully developed cases from textbooks and the Harvard Business School that will be used in this course. But I can also assure you that if you read a publication like the Wall Street Journal, almost every day you can find a quote-unquote case in the paper. For example, just last weekend, there was a front page article in the journal titled Microsoft Gets a Reboot. I recommend that you read that article. That article talks about Microsoft and its CEO Satya Nadella's strategy to retain Microsoft as a contender in the new world of mobile computing and cloud-based services. Microsoft and its founder Bill Gates were at the top of the IT industry when desktops as well as Microsoft Windows and Microsoft Office were at the forefront of the computing industry. Not only because of their strong strategy of single-mindedly focusing on Windows, but also because of the failed strategies of other stalwarts such as IBM and Apple, Microsoft ruled the IT industry in the 1990s. But today, Apple and Google dominate the mobile computing world, and companies like Amazon and Salesforce.com are among companies that lead in cloud computing. Microsoft is getting a reboot, as this article says, under the leadership of its third CEO, Satya Nadella, who took over the reins of the company in 2014. One of the things we talk about in strategy is to understand the external environment. Mr. Nadella got it right as opposed to his predecessor, Steve Ballmer, who was a 34-year-old veteran of Microsoft. While Mr. Ballmer called the open source operating system Linux a cancer, Mr. Nadella, accepting the reality of today's external environment, where open source software are ubiquitous, says that Microsoft loves Linux. Of course, Mr. Ballmer has also had a change of heart and is supportive of the new Microsoft strategy to pivot to open source software. Highly successful companies such as Intel and Yahoo, because of their inability to craft the proper strategy over time, have been left behind. Microsoft is trying hard to avoid being one of the IT legacy companies facing a severe downturn or even extinction. A term that we will use in strategy is key success factors, or KSFs. They are what it takes to survive and thrive in an industry. In the IT industry, one of the most important key success factors is to have a culture of innovation and the ability to follow trends in technology. Microsoft had lost those strategy elements. It had developed a NIH, or a not invented here syndrome. Nadella, according to this Wall Street article, has been trying to change that. What has he been doing? We talk in strategy about strengthening a company's market position by enhancing its scope of operations by both horizontal and vertical acquisition strategies. Mr. Nadella has put Microsoft through 36 major acquisitions in 2.5 years since he became the CEO of the company, while Mr. Balmer had only 13 in the previous 2.5 years. Not only did these acquisitions strengthen Microsoft's competitive position in the industry, but also it helped in making the company's culture more nimble. Towards the end of the course, we talk about corporate culture and leadership and their importance in executing strategy. Mr. Nadella has involved the CEOs of these newly acquired companies as agents of change in the company. That is a departure from the legacy Microsoft culture where it was acceptable to promote as leaders only the individuals who had spent 10 or even 20 years in the company. This is a big change in culture and strategy in the company. Also, while making these acquisitions, Mr. Nadella had to understand the concept of strategic fit, another topic of study in this course. Acquiring a company like LinkedIn for an incredible $26.2 billion, Microsoft has gained a stronger portfolio, a more nimble culture, and a change agent like its CEO Jeff Weiner, who continues as the CEO of LinkedIn. Just in this short article, you can see the case of Microsoft, one of the most successful companies of all time, which produced one of the richest men, struggling with strategy in its middle age. I encourage you to read publications such as the Wall Street Journal on a regular basis so that you can relate to the topics in this course and make your learning more applied. This course will help you understand several theories, tools, and applications pertaining to crafting and implementing strategy in both small and large businesses, locally as well as globally. Good luck to you.